Hello, I'm Kelly Dwyer, founder of Nature Education Opportunities. As educators, we know our successful lessons heavily depend on effective classroom management. We also know the challenges of moving groups from one location to another spot, even the challenges of lining up throughout the school day. These transition times can quickly cause disruptions and create a cascade of behaviors, which of course will negatively affect our teaching and our students' learning. I've created and used animal ambulators to help keep focus the group and engage while moving and transitioning from within the school building or even outside. These fun techniques use imagination, incorporate gross motor skills, and can help burn off energy. And I can also sneak in nature education and science as we go through them. So to create a selection of animal ambulators, you want to base the selection on the wildlife that would be in your area and that kids can likely see within the various habitats in your community. I live in southern New Hampshire, so these options that I'll show you work really well for the students that I've taught. Of course, we have black bear. This is a fun one to use in the fall, particularly as bears here get ready to hibernate for the winter. So they tend to really bulk up on a lot of mass crops and food. And the way that they can look like they're moving is almost like they're lumbering. So I've had students kind of lumber like a bear, and that will kind of help them stretch their arms and their legs and use sort of exaggerated movements. So the lumbering black bear. Another fun one this time of year here as we get into September is the monarch butterfly. These are the ones that are migrating down to Mexico, and they have beautiful, graceful movement and silent wings. So this is a nice time to use this, maybe that the kids are leaving your classroom and they're going to another place in the school building. So they're quiet, they're focused, and they're just really gently controlled wing flapping. You can watch the monarch butterflies outside this time of year and notice how graceful that they are flying. Of course, we have year-round the barred owl, beautiful raptor, a woodland raptor, and the owl is silent with fringed wings to break up the noise as they're flying to capture animal prey on the forest floor. So again, have those owl wings go out. The kids can spread their fingers just like the owl's feathers do, silently flying, maybe gliding a little bit as they're moving. But the idea is that they need to be flying as silent owls, so it helps kind of quell the chatter if it's happening in the group. Also, the white-tailed deer is a fun one to maybe stop along the way where you're going and have them use their deer ears to capture some sound. If you find that things are really starting to break down, have them use their deer ears so you're engaging them that way. I also love using, say, the white-footed mouse or a jumping mouse. These are little woodland creatures that are starting to scurry around at night, and they have to be very, very quiet. They're kind of small, so you can have the kids pretend that their bodies are curling up like a mouse. So again, ways to keep them quiet, focused movement. So what you can do when you're creating these, use the barred owl for an example, is print pictures of, again, native wildlife or indigenous wildlife that you would find in your area, cut it out, simply put it through a laminator, and then you can either glue it on the back of a tongue depressor or a paint stick, or I've used clear packing tape. Really simple, it just takes a couple of minutes. And then these are really fun to have. You can put them in a bag if you're outside, or another thing that you can do is have the kids sort of work together in small groups. Think about what are some of the animals that are in your particular region. Have them do some research and present to other kids, and then maybe vote on new animal ambulators for your classroom. There's lots of things you can do to have sort of those cooperative group learning projects with this. I find that it's most effective when you're using these, to use a very dramatic tone, even exaggerated movements. Get the kids, even older kids like 4th, 5th graders can use these and just get in touch with kind of a sillier side in them to move throughout the building and throughout the school grounds. The other thing that you can do is to have this as one of the jobs, your classroom job. So it would be a student that would be selecting which particular animal ambulator that you'll be using throughout the school day. And that line leader, instead of line leader, I like to rename it as animal captain. So it kind of gives them the opportunity to select, even to demonstrate how the animal moves and the purpose of the animal. And you can even sneak in some fun natural history facts. Maybe write it on the back if your students are at that point where they can, read and share information amongst themselves. The other two that I find really important, of course, you can do the little quiet smiley face or stop sign. Any way that you can avoid using your voice and getting their attention is really the most effective way to kind of, again, transition throughout the school day. Involving students is often the best way to effectively manage classrooms, and animal ambulators are really a great option to create learning-based movement while keeping a cohesive group, and then your lessons will be that much more successful. So have fun with these animal ambulators and just get in touch with the sort of dramatic presence that most teachers that we have within us.